not just for me, not even just because God had given me the mandate to do so, because this was going to be my way to give my dad something he asked me for in his final days. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for the time that I got to spend with him. And I'm even grateful for how the words of this book poured onto the pages of my Mac and created the masterpiece that I'm so excited that you are about to be able to experience. You're listening to the Move to Millions podcast with Dr. Darnyelle Jervey Harmon, the place to be for high-level conversations about all things millions. Your mission, mindset, methodologies, mandate, movement, messaging, marketing, metrics, and most definitely your money. I am your host, spiritual business growth coach, Dr. Darnyelle J. Harmon. Join me each week for inspiring stories, powerful interviews, and business growth strategy to help you experience abundance in your life because of your business. If you're ready to move to your next level everything, let's get this party started. This episode is powered by the Move to Millions Live virtual launch party happening Tuesday, November the 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In order to join me for some special surprises and an opportunity to create your $1 million business roadmap, all you need to do is to grab one copy of Move to Millions, the proven framework to become a $1 million CEO with grace and ease instead of hustle and grind. Hey, y'all. OMG, your girl is so excited because you know what tomorrow is? Tomorrow is the day that we have been waiting for what seems like forever. Move to Millions, the book, finally releases tomorrow, Tuesday, November the 7th. Y'all can't see me right now, but I am smiling ear to ear. All my dimples is out. You know I have 5 dimples, right? They're all hanging out right now because we made it. We made it to the point where you actually get to hold this beautiful life and business shifting book in your hands, and your girl is grateful. Now, I'm not going to lie. If you've been tuning in the last couple of weeks, you already know what kind of time I've been on. First, I had to hit you with my confessions of a guy girl making millions. And then I had to talk to you about the big breakdown before the big breakthrough, because 2023 has been a year for the books. And even with all that has transpired, I cannot wait for you to hold this beautiful book in your hands. I want to first just pay homage and say thank you to some people who really made this project possible. First and foremost, I want to honor my deceased father, Robert Joseph Jervey. If you've been rocking with me for a while, then you know my dad got sick in July of 2022. It was the shortest 33 days ever from the day he hit the hospital to the day he took his last breath. And when he went into the hospital, I made it my mission to make sure that I went and spent time with him every single day. My dad and I were not like besties. I'm grateful to my father because he took over when my mom went to jail, when he could have been one of those men who shirks his responsibility. So I honor him for that. And over the years, from one reason or another, we didn't always see eye to eye and we didn't always spend time together. But when he got sick, none of that mattered anymore. And so I rushed to his side every single evening. I purposely went in the evening because all my cousins and my family and everybody would be gone. And my dad and I had some of the most amazing talks of my life. I'm so grateful for that time. It was during that time that he and I got to talk about what was then an idea, a construct, a possibility, the book you have the ability to have coming into your mailbox in just a few days. We got to talk about it. And y'all, my dad was so excited for this book. Once he finally passed, it took me a little minute to get myself together because this was my first parent that I've actually lost. And I took a little bit of time for myself just to grieve and to process through everything. And then it became painstakingly clear that I needed to get the book done, not just for me, not even just because God had given me the mandate to do so, because this was going to be my way to give my dad something he asked me for in his final days. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for the time that I got to spend with him. And I'm even grateful for how the words of this book poured onto the pages of my Mac and created the masterpiece that I'm so excited that you are about to be able to experience. Can you stand it? I can't stand it. I cannot wait for you to get this book. Now, of course, I've had a copy of the book since early May. For those of you who are at Move to Millions Live 2023, you had an opportunity to get the book like live and in the flesh. You guys were the first people outside of myself and to be able to experience the book, to touch it, to put your hands on it. And of course, you know, we had that huge book at the event on display with just a symbol of all of the work. Let me tell you why I love this book. And then we'll get into what I really want to talk to you about in this episode. I love Move to Millions because it is a perfect reflection of my journey over the last, I started writing it around 46 when I started writing, over 46 years of my life. Perfect reflection. Who I am and who I have become is reflected in the pages. Now, something that was important to me is that I wanted to write a book that you would want to have in your professional library. I wanted to write a book that when you opened it up, it would give you the answers and it wouldn't be a bait and switch kind of book. Y'all know what kind of books I'm talking about. Y'all know people who have written books that are really just, they trying to point you to something else. I really wanted to write a book that if you and I never had an opportunity to meet, besides that book and the companion guide that we've created to accompany it, if you were disciplined enough to take consistent action towards the goal of crossing the $1 million mark, you would have what you need in order to be able to bring that into the realm of possibility. That was important to me. And I'm excited about this book being able to shake the planet. As I shared with you in the big breakdown before the big breakthrough, all of the forces in the universe that have threatened and attempted to steal my spirit in this season, and how I just couldn't let that happen because I know what is waiting for you in the pages. So I'm just going to say thank you again in advance. If you have already purchased a copy, thank you. You've got some really amazing bonuses. If you were waiting to get your copy until November the 7th, I get it. You wanted to wait, but you missed out on some really good bonuses. But I want to just say thank you in advance for getting a copy for yourself, and do yourself a favor. Do the entrepreneurs and small business owners that you love a favor and get a copy for them too. I have been blown away at the number of people who have bought 50 copies of the book. I've been blown away at the number of people who have bought 25 copies of the book. I have been blown away at the number of people who bought 5 or 10 copies of the book. I am so grateful. I know that this work is going to shake the planet, and you have made this possible. I know you love the Move to Millions podcast. I know you can't wait every single week for me to drop a new episode. You know what that tells me? It tells me that you're also going to love my brand new book, Move to Millions, the proven framework to become a $1 million CEO with grace and ease instead of hustle and grind. Listen to me. Everything you need to know to make millions of dollars without losing your shirt, your sanity, or anything that's important to you in the process is in this powerful book. It takes what you are experiencing each week on the podcast to the absolute next level. Go now to movetomillionsbook.com to grab your copy. Part of the reason why I've been talking about this book so much is because I know the life change that is imminent as a result of going through the book. Now, my recommendation is that you read it 3 times. The first time, I just want you to read it and just relish at the way your girl weaves them stories into these principles to grow your business. That's what I just want you to do the first time. I just want you to be in awe of the work. The second time, I want you to read it through the lens of being ready now to begin to take action. And then I want you to take the actions. And then the third time that you read it, I want you to go back and cross-check yourself. Now, when you get your copy of the book, I will tell you immediately where to go to get access to the companion resource guide. I created a companion guide that is yours for free, modeled after some of the best books I've ever read. that didn't just give you the book itself, but gave you a place where you could do the work that they suggested in the book. I wanted to do something similar. So I have created a companion guide, and in the book, you'll be taught where to go in order to opt in and to get access to that companion guide. This is what you have been praying for. This is what you have been waiting for. And I am so grateful to be able to bring it to you. Second, I would like to thank my team that made it possible for me to carve out the time to write this book. It did only take me 3 months to write it, primarily because this is my gift. This is what I do for a living. I don't theorize. And because of that, the words, the concepts, the methodology, the process got to just flow right out of me. And so I'm grateful to my team that created an environment for that to happen. I need you to know that what I talk to you about in the book is what happens in real life in my business. I am not a theorist, and I don't believe in saying one thing and doing another. It's just not the way I roll. My number one core value is integrity. And so I try to do things decent and in order. I would like to thank Lucinda Cross, who wrote the foreword to the book. When I first started writing the book, before I even knew that I was going to seek out a publisher to publish it, because my initial goal was just to self-publish it, like I've done with the other 7 books that I've written. But when I first started thinking about writing this book, Lucinda was the very first person that popped into my spirit as the person who should read the foreword of the book. And if once you get the book and you read the foreword, you will understand why. So thank you to Lucinda Cross. I want to thank all of my sister, friend, business besties. I want to thank all of y'all, because you let me call you and whine and question concepts and how I should communicate it so that I could do it in a way that would honor those who would read the book. I want to thank my coach. I mean, Caitlin was just completely instrumental in every facet of this book. Because of her, we were able to rework it. I was initially writing it one way, y'all, and Caitlin suggested that I write it another way. And listen, I'm not going to lie, I was a little perturbed because I had a good portion of the book done when she made this suggestion, but she was right. And flipping the script on the way that we organized the book gave it so much more power. So thank you, Caitlin, for just being here and being part of this process. I want to thank my husband, and I purposely saved him for last. I want to thank him because he allowed me to stop cooking for him. Now, I still made sure he ate, y'all, but I sat him down when I knew that it was time to get this project done. And I was just real with him, was like, listen, there might be some late nights because sometimes I wrote during the workday, but sometimes it's hard because I'm in the office and there are other things that I might need to do. So sometimes I was writing in the bed. Sometimes I was writing on the weekend. I was writing on date night. And he was gracious to allow me the space to create this book. And so I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to have your love, to have your support, and to know that you made all of this possible. And there's probably a host of other people that I really should be thanking right now. So here's what I'm going to do, because I don't want to miss anybody. I'm going to open up the book and I'm going to read. I'm going to look at the acknowledgments and see who I forgot, just because I want to make sure I give every person who needs a shout out right now their due. I can't believe we have gotten to this point, y'all. I'm so excited. Again, all my dimples are out. I'm so excited. So very excited. Flipping. Okay, acknowledgments. Okay, who didn't I say? I didn't say God, right? I do thank you, God. Like, I am because you are. I am because before I was formed in my mother's womb, you knew me. You approved me. And you gave me a mission and a message with a mantle to share with the nation. So thank you for that. Oh, I didn't thank my editorial team. Let me thank my editors, Tanisha and Melissa. Thank you so very much for correcting the Darnyelle isms that were a little out of sorts from an English language perspective. Just thank you so much. And even for putting the book in the format that the publisher required. I thank you that. I did thank all of my sister friends. I did not thank them by name, though. So let me thank them by name. Janice, Lucinda, April, Natasha, Chandra, Nina, Doreen, Linda. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. My clients. Oh, so many clients. Even the clients that weren't featured case studies in the book, I thank you because you allowed me to test out what would have been theory were it not for you taking action and proving to me that the strategy that I would recommend would actually produce the result. So thank you, thank you, thank you for that. I want to thank you all for encouraging me to play a bigger game so that others would know what I do and how my work changes lives. Yeah, I'm so grateful. And even to the clients that are highlighted in the book, Atia, Bridget, Christine, Turdon, Herman, Dr. Pamela, Dr. Angela, Althea, Kira, Lindsay, Dr. Erica, Kim, Dr. Madeline, Marissa, Crystal, Marquel, and Jasmine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just so grateful, y'all. Flowing from my heart are the issues of my heart. It's gratefulness. I am so stinking grateful. So grateful. So grateful. Now, none of that is the real reason of what I wanted to talk to you about in this podcast episode, but I did feel remiss. Like I'm sitting here literally before I started to record. I'm like, what am I going to talk about in this podcast episode? And then all of a sudden I turned the camera on, I turned the microphone on, and I realized that at the time that you listen to this episode, the book literally will be dropped. Either you'll listen right away when it airs on Monday and you'll know it's coming the next day, or you'll listen in throughout the week and the book will literally be available. You won't have to pre-order it. This warms my heart. I'm so grateful. I've done a lot of work in my life. This piece of work I am very proud of. I am very grateful. I am very clear. I am very confident that the Move to Millions method is the reason why many of the people that you see in the marketplace that you know and love have worked with me, have come through my camp and learned a strategy, learned a way to move their business forward and make millions of dollars. Like, I'm so grateful for that. When I first started writing the book, I remember when I had my first meeting with the publisher and he's like 60,000 words. I'm like, oh yeah, that'll be no sweat. When I finished my manuscript, y'all, the manuscript was 110,000 words, which would have been the equivalent to, I think, about 500 pages. I mean, the book is 310 pages. So I cut out some, we really only removed one chapter, and then we removed a lot of the case studies that were going to be featured, because my initial goal was to feature a case study after every chapter. And there's 19 or 20 chapters in this book. Let's see, because you would think that I know that, but let's see how many chapters are there. Are 19 chapters in this book. So there were going to be 19 or 20 case studies featured in the book. And when we had to cut down the word count, we decided to cut some of the case studies. I also want to thank, I just realized it because I opened the book, and I want to thank all of my advanced readers who gave me advanced praise that is listed in the book. Omar, Tyree, Patrice Washington, Lisa Peterson, Sharia Jackson, Monica Smiley, Raul Davis, Sean Anthony, Dove Gordon, Atia Blair, April Franks, Caitlin Domner, Amy Walker, Dr. Jatali Belleton, Tawana Burris, Dan Mangena, Allison Bird, Ramon Ray, Natasha Joan Houghton, and Janice Anderson. I want to just say thank you to all of you as well for reading the book and giving me a blurb and feeling what I was feeling when I wrote it, and just sharing some amazing words that are going to be the reason why so many people pick up a copy of this book. I am so grateful. I have set an intention of what I want this book to do, and I've also detached from the outcome. We have worked, we have given God something to bless. And I'm just surrendered that this book is going to do exactly what it needs to do in this season. And for that, I am extremely grateful. I'm so grateful. There really are not enough words, even though I filled plenty with you, to really express how grateful I am that this book is out in the world. As I hold it in my hands, I can't wait for you to get your copy, because the cover, it just feels like butter. It's such a beautiful book. And even to Dave Bullen, who took the picture of me that is on the cover of the book, I just say thank you. and I cannot remember the name of the person the publisher, the graphic designer at the publisher that laid out the book and designed the cover. I don't think everybody, y'all, because this is my Academy Award winning moment. I'm just so grateful. And again, I just say thank you. Wherever you are, go grab a copy. You can still go to movetomillionsbook.com and get a copy. Again, depending upon when you're listening, if you listen on Move to Millions Monday, when the podcast episode drops, then you'll still be pre-ordering. But if you go on Tuesday or later in the week, you can just get a copy of the book wherever you are. You'll need the book. You'll need a copy of the book to join me for my virtual launch party on November the 14th. So I've got some surprises up my sleeve, and I'm committed to doing a training around planning for your $1 million year. So I'm going to walk through something that we normally only do with our clients to help you to build out your $1 million roadmap. I'm excited. I'm grateful. I'm honored. I'm humbled. I'm confident. I'm clear that just by getting a copy of this book, your income is going up. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Thank you for joining me for the Move to Millions podcast. If this episode has impacted you in any way, would you please take a moment and rate and review? Doing so helps us to deepen our impact and expand our reach around the world. And if you are ready to start your very own Move to Millions, I highly recommend that you order your very own copy of my brand new best-selling book, Move to Millions, the proven framework to become a $1 million CEO with grace and ease instead of hustle and grind. You can get your copy and our bonuses today at movetomillionsbook.com. Until next time, remember, millions are your birthright, and to access them, you need only move. I'll see you next time.